I get this question a lot. What allocated bottle of bourbon would I buy if I had the choice? Let's find out. What is going on, everybody? Nathan here with the Everyday Drinker, but he has a brand new video. Today I've got a fun one in store and I can't wait to get into it. It's a bit of a hypothetical one, but I get the question asked to me a lot. A bunch of people send me pictures of allocated bottles at a store and they ask me, which one would I buy? Well, I'm going to let you know which one I would buy because, well, I conjured up a list of the top allocated 50 bottles of bourbons, and I asked ChatGPT to take that list of 50 bourbons and compile a table of 5 allocated bottles 5 different times. And then for the last one, we've got 10 bottles on the table that I'm going to have to pick off of to let you guys know which one I am going to pick. I want you guys to have fun with this as well. When the table is on there with the bottles present, I want you guys to let me know which one you would select. Now, these are all going to be at MSRP prices and things along those lines. So we're not going to be spending an arm and a leg on most of these bottles, hopefully. Now, make sure you guys drop that like, leave that comment like I asked, which one would you pick up off of each of these tables, and smash that subscribe button. But let's get into table number 1. All right, so ChatGPT randomly selected 5 bottles from that 50 bourbon list. We've got the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. I selected the C923, Old Fitzgerald 17-year decanter, Weller CYPB, the Parker's Heritage Double Barrel, and then the Four Roses Limited Edition 2025 Small Batch. Now, when I'm looking at this table right here, I see C923 is such a great bottle, but it's one that I have some left in, and it's a relatively, for what it was, an inexpensive bottle. Bottle number 2 here, the Old Fitzgerald 17-year decanter. This is pushing that $320-ish price mark, I would imagine, but it's a 17-year bottle and about 100 proof bottle of bourbon that I'm really highly anticipating to be a good pour. Bottle number 3, Weller CYPB, even though it's a Weller, I know a lot of you guys would see that white, beautiful label and you'd want to pick it up yourselves. I'm going to leave that on the table. I'm leaving that one no matter what. Bottle number 4, the Parker's Heritage Double Barrel Bourbon, might be one of the best sips of bourbon that I have ever had in my entire life. So it's right now between these two right here, the decanter or the Parker's Heritage. And then bottle number 5, Four Roses 2025 Limited Edition. I know a lot of you Four Roses fans would go right after this bottle right here, but I'm going to leave that on the table as well. So I'm going between the Old Fitzgerald 17-year and the Parker's Heritage Double Barrel. You know me, I love my proof. I'm going with the Parker's Heritage Double Barrel Bourbon. I think it's 132 proof, and it's absolutely incredible. The one sample I had of it, I need to find a bottle of this bottle right here, right now. So that's my pick off of this table. Let me know what you would pick. Let's get to table number 2. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're on table number 2, and with table number 2, I told Chat that it could overlap some bottles if it already previously selected them. So, as you can see, table number 2 does have an overlap bottle, but we are looking at bottle number 1 being the George T. Stagg 2025 release at 142.8 proof. Bottle number 2 is going to be the 2025 Old Forester Birthday Bourbon. Bottle number 3, we've got the overlap with the CYPB. Bottle number 4, we've got the Michter's 10-year bourbon. And then bottle number 5, Blanton's Straight from the Barrel. Now, when I'm looking at this table again, I'm automatically kicking out the CYPB. I'm not interested in that bottle whatsoever. Now, it's an interesting one because the Old Forester Birthday Bourbon is one that I want to have for my son when he turns 21. We can crack this open from his birth year. Michter's 10-year bourbon, that comes out every year. I'm going to kick that one to the curb for now because I see that relatively 2 or 3 times a year, and sometimes I'm a little late to picking it up. And bottle number 5, Blanton Straight from the Barrel, even if it had his dump date, his birth date as a dump date, this would be 100% the bottle I'm going to go with, but I'm going to kick that one to the curb, and I'm looking at the George T. Stagg of 2025, which is 142.8 proof, 15 years old, or the Old Forester Birthday Bourbon. I think I'm going to have to go with the George T. Stagg because the secondary market of this bottle is going to be absolutely insane. And I think that the Old Forester Birthday Bourbon, even though I might have to pick this one up at secondary, is going to be a little bit easier to explain to myself for picking it up over top of the absurd price that the George T. Stagg is going to be when this is going to be $120 bought at this table right here, right now. So George T. Stagg is going to be the one that I pick up off of table number 2. Let's get to table number 3. All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into table number 3, make sure you guys drop that like, smash that subscribe button, and leave that comment. But check out the link down below for the Patreon. Help support the channel like you wouldn't believe. I asked my Patreons a day before this video dropped on which ones they would pick out of these bottles. So they get fun little polls, fun little questionnaires, links to things before the YouTube. We also have an amazing Discord, and we do our barrel picks over there. So make sure you check that link out down below. If you've contemplated about doing it for as little as $2 a month, you help support me and the channel, and I appreciate any amount of help and support you guys bring. But let's get to table number 3. Table number 3 has the bottles of Pappy Van Winkle 15-year Willett Family Estate Bourbon. It's a purple top. The Booker's 25th anniversary, E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof, and Wild Turkey Beacon. Now, this table is definitely probably the most difficult out of the 3 so far. Pappy 15 had 107 proof, is an absolutely delicious pour. Willett Family Estate Purple Tops are absolutely delicious, but it depends on the mash bill. So I'm automatically going to kick that one out. And it's also a $400 bottle depending on the year. That one is automatically out. I'm not spending that much again. Bottle number 3, the Booker's 25th anniversary. I've heard good things about it. I've heard bad things about it. The one that the rye is the one that I think would be the heavy hitter on this table, but that's not on here. Bottle number 4, E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof, the 2025 edition. I don't know if it's been released yet, and if it has, it hasn't even had anything spectacular said about it. And then bottle number 5, the Wild Turkey Master's Key Beacon. Pretty darn good pour, I do say so myself. But I think off of this table automatically, just because I don't own one yet and I'd like to have one, I'm 100% going for the Pappy 15. The Pappy 15 has to be the one that I go for. I'm a big wheated bourbon fan. The 15-year age statement, 107 proof. It's right there up my alley with everything I enjoy. Wheated bourbons, 107 proof is right in my happy place. And 15 years old, absolute great age statement. Got to go with the Pappy 15. Let's get to table number 4. Table number 4, we are starting off with Stagg Jr. I didn't have a specific batch in mind, but I'm going to say batch 12. Why? I guess the liquor manager found a bottle or a case in the back and said, you know what, let's put that one out there. So Stagg Jr. batch 12, Old Forester Decanter 17-year, Four Roses single barrel proof. They're one of their store picks, a Weller 12, and the Heaven Hill Heritage Collection 20-year bourbon. I'm automatically kicking off the Heaven Hill Heritage, the Weller 12. I don't like that bottle really that much. And the Four Roses single barrel. I know a lot of you guys would probably go with this, especially if it's like over 10 years old. But for me, I'm looking at the Old Fitzgerald 17-year decanter and the Stagg Jr. batch 12. I think that for this table here, if each table, I still have that bottle, right? And I already have the George T. Stagg. I don't need the Stagg Jr. Batch 12, so I'm going to say no to that bottle. And I'm going to go with the Old Fitzgerald 17-year decanter because that 17-year-old 100-proof bourbon, it's probably darn good. Old Fitzgerald, another wheated bourbon, even though we already have a wheated bourbon in the 15-year 107-proof Pappy 15. I want to know what that Old Fitzgerald 17-year has in store. So that's the one I'm going for off table number 4. Let's get into our 5th table of 5 bottles. Now, we are looking at a really fun table here. Starting off, bottle number 1, we've got Eagle Rare 17. Bottle number 2, Jefferson's Reserve Cask Strength at 130 proof. Knob Creek 21-year. Weller Full Proof, and Angel's Envy Cask Strength. Now, again, looking at this table, a lot of great bottles that some of you would pick out over top of me. I'm kicking off the Angel's Envy Cask Strength automatically. The Weller Full Proof, I don't need another bottle at this moment. Knob Creek 21-year, I've heard some really, really good reviews about, so I'm going to hold on to that one, possibly pick it up Jefferson's Reserve cash strength. Heard some decent reviews, but nothing spectacular. So I'm going to boot that one off as well. So we're looking at the Knob Creek 21 year at 100 proof, or the Eagle Rare 17, which at the 2025, I believe, is 18 and a half years old at 101 proof. This is a tough one. I know a lot of you guys would probably go with the Eagle Rare 17, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go with the Eagle Rare 17. I know I already have a bottle, and we're not even halfway done it, but to have a backup of what I believe to be my absolute pinnacle favorite bottle of bourbon, I got to have a backup of it because it's just that darn good. And I know every single year it's going to be a little bit different, but this one, 100% picking it up off of this table at MSRP 10 times out of 10. Let's get into our sixth and final table where we have 10 bottles on this table, and this is going to be a fun one. So on our final table, we have Pappy Van Winkle 20 year, Four Roses limited edition 2025, Weller single barrel, George T. Stagg 2025, Old Forester 2025 birthday bourbon, Parker's Heritage double barrel bourbon, Blanton straight from the barrel, Michter's 10-year, Stagg Jr. batch 12, and the Old Fitzgerald 17-year decanter. I don't know if I have all 10 of these on this table. They might be really small pictures, but this is going to be a fun one. This is a table that we're not looking into the past. We don't have any of these bottles right now, and I'm looking at this table wondering which one of these 10 bottles I would want to go with, because a lot of them are absolutely incredible. And when I'm looking at this table, and I've had some of these pours before, I've had bottles before, I've had samples before. The one bottle on here that always pulls me into always wanting to have this bottle is the Parker's Heritage double barrel bourbon, and that's the one I'm going to go with off of this table right here, the Parker's Heritage, wherever that is. I don't know where it's fitting on 10 bottles. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it might be right here. I'm picking it up and I'm putting it in my bag because that's the one out of these 10 bottles I would like. I can't wait to see which ones out of these 10 bottles you would pick, which ones out of the 5 bottles you would pick down in the comments below. Make sure you guys drop that like and smash that subscribe button. I'd love to hit 15,000 subscribers by the end of the year, but that's only up to you guys. Till next time, this has been Nathan with The Everyday Drinker. Cheers.